We are live. Welcome to episode 4, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you've listened to episode 1, 2, and 3 of my postpartum journey, you are probably sitting at the edge of your seat. I've had so many messages of people being like, I'm in absolute tears. You're such a survivor, like all these types of things. And we are here today with someone super special, Dr. Darren Brooks. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thanks so much.
He is the founder of The Bridge, which is the total health retreat. I call it a trauma healing retreat because I went for trauma, but he can explain more. But, this part of my story is where things started to take a turn. I had my son end of April 2025. I arrived at The Bridge, I believe, on July 5th of 2025. So I was about 9 weeks postpartum when I showed up, fresh out of the psych ward, which if you guys heard episode 3, extremely traumatic, scariest experience of my entire life. And I've been through a lot of abuse and a lot of complex PTSD. And those 9 days were horrifying. And so it's funny, I was actually looking through the text message thread this morning with Darren. Are you okay with me calling you Darren?
Of course, yes. I get nothing out of the title. Yeah, of course.
Okay. With Darren and Wade, and I literally scrolled back to those texts, and like 2 days before I left on July 3rd, I was having like weird feelings and like cold feet, like, babe, I don't think I should get on that plane. I don't know if I should go to the bridge. And Wade sent a text to Darren and said, hey, a lot of Sandy's trauma is around men, like a lot of her repressed memory. You are the guy kind of leading this place. She needs to feel safe with you. Like, can we please pop on a call? And so we all popped on a call, and I got to know you. And I just like prayed about it and was like, all right, I'm going to do this. But I didn't feel safe like going on a plane by myself. So we had to pull in all the resources. Wade's brother and sister-in-law watched our newborn and 3 kids. Like, they're not parents. Like, they're like, what are we doing? Like, they watched our kids. Wade came with me, flew me there, dropped me off. And then you were so gracious because I was like, what if like they say it's one thing and then I get dropped off? And then because I was so paranoid from what happened at the psych ward that I was like, is there any way like Wade can stay with me? And you were so gracious. You kind of were like, we don't typically do this, but we have these different houses. Like, Wade can stay in like the main house. So no one stayed in that house, but Wade got to stay there that first night. We had the welcome dinner. And then the next morning I told him like I slept great. It was literally the best night of sleep that I had.
The first night of sleep
in 9
beyond
weeks,
like 2 hours.
I was on sleep deprivation. And so I was like, I slept great. I have peace. Like, you can go home to our kids. And so he left, and that began the 21-day journey of The Bridge. And I just want to preface before I turn it over to you, Darren, is like, truly, I could just cry like talking about finding this place, because there is not a lot of resources for people that are going through a mental health crisis. And Wade and my dear best friend Kristen, who's a therapist, and she's just amazing. They did a lot of research and they found The Bridge, and it was exactly what I needed. I am so excited to share what my experience was like there, and I'm so excited for you to share like how and why you started The Bridge 25 years ago. Who is this for? And I'm just so grateful that you're here and that you started this, because this might sound dramatic because, on the surface, like I wasn't like suicidal. I didn't want to hurt myself or anything like that. But I do feel like The Bridge played a huge turning point and honestly like saved my life. And so I'm super, super grateful for you and all your staff. Your staff is amazing. I still stay in touch with some of them. It's just so amazing. I have my Bridge binder here. I pulled it out this morning and I was like reading through, and it's absolutely it just moves me and brings me all the nostalgic feelings. I feel like this was 3,000 years ago, but it was like 6 months ago. It's like, I feel like so much has healing since then. So anyway, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll tee up some questions, but yeah, I remember like doing extensive amount of research, because on prior episodes and what we've even talked about, Dr. Brooks, is like there's really not much middle ground, especially for like a postpartum mom, between like going through it, mental health, and like honestly the medical field, and just like being in a psych ward and an inpatient behavioral mental health facility. There's not a lot of like that bridge in between or thereafter. And so I'm like doing the most insane amount of research trying to figure out what there is out there, and came across The Bridge, and I had called so many people at that point. So I'm like, I gotta call them, I gotta talk to them. I remember talking to Darren, to Dr. Brooks, and just having such comfort come over me, explaining our situation, Sandy's situation, and obviously not like making promises per se, but being like, we've seen a lot of this. We've been doing this for 25 years. I kind of got to know the backstory and everything and the processes, and we're not just looking to like prescribe and overly medicate and this and that. He's like,
Yeah.
we want to heal from like the foundational healing modalities and all the things. And so I remember after talking to you, I was like, this is it. It's just that feeling. It was like, this is the next step for us. I know it, and we got to get resourceful and figure out how to do it and how to get there. But Dr. Brooks, welcome to the show. If you could just like introduce yourself, give people a little background on you, and then honestly, we'd love to hear how did the bridge start? And I think it's 25 years in, right?
Yeah, we're a long ways in, and we have the saying, you know, if you've met one bridge guest, even after 25 years, you've only met one bridge guest. I mean, humans are just so unique. So the challenge for me, so I grew up molested as a little boy, attachment disorders. My first wife took off after being married for a year. And looking back, a tremendous amount of my own fault and responsibility, but I didn't really know how to put together the puzzle, these pieces that I was given of just being myself. It's like I had these odd thoughts, and I was kind of neurotic, and I was insecure, and I had some confidence in some areas too. But I tried the psych ward briefly, and I tried some medicine briefly, and I got in bed for a long time, and I couldn't quite. None of that really worked. I mean, all of it was, I guess, somewhat supportive, but there just wasn't anywhere that I didn't want to be babysat, and I didn't want drugs and alcohol overlap, and I didn't want any of that heavy stuff. I was a pretty high-functioning person, but also in a lot of dark places. And I got kind of lucky with a few different people that really helped me. And I just thought, why isn't there somewhere where there's no babysitting, there's no patronization, there's extremely high-level clinical support, there's a lot of fun, there's great adventure. I mean, no one wants to do talk therapy 8 hours a day. That's awful. And no one wants to hold hands and sing Kumbaya in a group for too long, like we're normal folks, And so we kind of came up with the idea, and we ended up with like 25 people as a potential staff. And I'm like, that's a lot. We need someone with good energy work. I want someone really high level clinical psych, maybe 2 of those. We got a great massage therapist. I have awesome personal training. The food has to be excellent. Not impossible to do at home though. I don't want like a macrobiotic diet vegan that's so specific if you're not using like calcium from the coral reef in Japan that it's not. I mean, there's so much hair splitting out there, but I thought this has got to be doable for normal folks, and it's got to be a good adventure for normal folks too. It can't feel overly institutionalized, or it doesn't work. I mean, if there's anything humans know about each other is that we don't like to be controlled. We don't want to be told what to do. We want help and advice, but we also know we're getting it from other imperfect people. So don't overcook it, or I can feel the hypocrisy, right? Like we all live in this really difficult world. So don't jam me too much because you're going to bug me. And also don't do too little because I've really got some serious issues that I need to solve. So the beauty of the bridge is, and has been, is I do my little part. I'm pretty good at mind-body medicine. I'm pretty good at the biochemistry of what happens depending on your thought processes and your subconscious and where that comes from and that reconciliation. That's kind of my piece. I'm not really great at energy work, so I've got good people there to do that. I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I've got good people to do that. I'm not a personal trainer. I've done a lot of really cool athletic things. To me, I'm no elite athlete, but I've done a bunch of full distance Ironmans. I've done Leadville a few times. So getting acquainted with my own system and that pain and that suffering, I think, is really, really important. I had a failed marriage, of course, and I had 15 years of being alone, so I had that that big gap in there to try to figure out the world.
Now you're a toddler dad to twins.
Oh my gosh, yes. And last night was one of those epic evenings where it's like, Maxine, sweetheart, I love you, but it is 2:45 and I don't know if I can do this all night. And she's like, yeah, Dad, yeah, all night. Let's chat. I'm like, oh geez. So the regular old person that needs help and needs to assemble pieces, and Sandy, I know your story was super dark. I remember talking to you, and what's something that you said to me early on in our conversations, you said, this is me, but this is not me. And that's really profound, to be like, I know me, I know my potential, and it's not this. but I also know that this is very, very real. So I want the reality of this difficulty validated. You've got to validate this. I'm not in a good place. But I also know that I'm capable of more than this. Right? Like that was very, very apparent. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect for the bridge. And I remember the first night, I think we had a conversation, you know, and you just said, who's staying the night? And I said, nobody. And you're like, wait, what? Nobody said, what? And I said, no, I trust you. I trust you. Like, you're going to be okay. Just give us a day or two and get some staff on you. And one of our comments at the bridge, you know, we always say we only put one arm around you because we need the other one free to punch you in the face. Because you've got to have this really important accommodating validation, you're safe, you know, we love you to pieces feeling. But you've also got to have somebody that's no joke clinically, because you've got things to solve. Like, you don't want to play patty cake with that either. So we do the hikes, right, Sandy? Beautiful hikes. Like, the mornings are spectacular. The massages are the best in the world. The energy work is amazing. I mean, the Wild Mustang experiences and the Zion Park and Snow Canyon. And you end up, you know, with Dustin drumming that night. And, you know, end up getting up at 3 in the morning and building that sweat lodge and sweating together. And I mean, all of that is on top of good clinical psych and insight. But the most important thing that I want you to remember, Sandy and Wade, is that, Sandy, you did that work. I mean, the bridge is a good environment for you to work in, but at the end of the day, your improvements are your own. I mean, they really are. That's the only time humans adjust. You can throw the very best people and programming and therapy and technique at people, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to make the adjustment, you don't have to. And so when those adjustments get made, all of the credit belongs to you. And that's what's so special, and that's why it lasts a lifetime. This ancient psychiatry joke, you know, how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? You know, it's, well, only one, but the light bulb really has to want to change. You know, it's all of that heaviness with really good adventure and good therapy and no shuffling around in a white coat and a little paper cup of pills. And so do we use medication? Absolutely. We use it a lot, but only for short terms in a plan to get off of it eventually. So I love all medicine, and people kind of snicker, but I'm like, I don't care if it's heroin. I don't care what it is. If it's going to save your life and keep the wolves away for a night or two, who cares? But eventually you have to exchange that outside chemistry for this inside direction. And so whatever we have to use in the short run, let's use it. I don't care. But when you start exchanging, this is so cheesy, you guys, but when you start exchanging pills for skills, that's really scary, because you're like, look, I don't sleep if I'm not taking my Ambien or my Klonopin or my Trazodone or my Lunesta or my whatever. And if I can't sleep, I'll go crazy. And what if I stop taking my Abilify or my Prozac or my Zoloft or my Cymbalta or my Effects or whatever?
These names, I'm like, like,
know, right?
I've heard them because you helped me wean off.
Sure.
Like, your team helped me. I think within 11 days, because when I came there, I was on 900 milligrams of lithium.
Yes.
I was on lanthanine. I was on all these things, but I told you, I want to come back to my son in 3 weeks and be able to get back to nursing. Like, I want to bond with him. I just was in a psych ward, and I'm going to be here. I'm missing my newborn's a month of his life. Like, I want to get back to nursing. And you were very realistic with me, like, because I was like kind of like demonizing medicine and how they'd like force it down my throat. And you were like, medicine is not bad. You know, like, we need this right now. This is a tool. But you helped me, like, you guys helped me wean off of it. And it's crazy, though. I haven't even thought of those names. And hearing you say it, I'm like, whoa, like, that was my world not that long ago.
Right. Well, and it's an important world. And there's not great data on some of it, but there's pretty good data on some other things, too. And anything we have as humans to support each other in the short run, we absolutely should use. But we also, as humans, if we're really going to help each other long term, we have to have a plan of how to just be with our own thoughts and our own craziness and our own neurosis without it too. So that bridge between the dark and the medicated and the scary, and that I'm functioning on my own, I'm scared to death. It's my first day without any pills in years, but I can't believe I'm not like going crazy. I can't believe I don't want to kill myself. I thought I might. I can't believe I'm holy cow, I think I'm okay. But getting to that point, I mean, you never ever burn a man's house down before you help build him another one. And medicine, you don't just take medicine from people. That's not responsible at all. You start building a system where the medicine just makes less and less sense. And Sandy, as you work through that, that was a terrifying like switch, right? Like I hate this medicine, but without it, what am I gonna do? I mean, you remember those feelings, yeah?
And it's crazy because I'm a very deeply emotional, empathetic person, and I cry like at things all the time. And I remember it was like day 9 or 10 of me being there, and I'm like, Darren, I haven't cried once since being here. Like I should be crying because I miss my kids and I miss my husband, but I was like numb. Like I was just like there. Like I was loving it, but like I was like I want to have a good cry. But I
Yes.
hadn't cried in weeks because I think the combination of the meds and just being in fight or flight and having such severe like lack of sleep and just truly being in fight or flight, like a lion is chasing me nonstop. I didn't know how to like exhale and have that. And I had told Wade when he left, the morning he left, I was like, I have one rule while we're gone. I want you to keep your phone and ringer on you and on loud. If I have a panic attack in the night, like I need you, I need to be able to call you. And then on night like 12 or 13, once I was like off the meds, I got hit with, it wasn't a full blown panic attack, but I was starting to feel the spiraling. And I call him and he doesn't answer, and I call him, he
Yeah.
doesn't answer the call. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like 11:45 at night. And you had told me, you were like, Sandy, I'm here for you. If you need anything, you call me. I called you. I called you at 11:45 at night. And I was like, just talking a mile a minute. And you were like, you're okay. Like, you just, I just felt safe and fine. And like, I was probably asleep like 20 minutes later. And then I was fine the next day. And it was just like this one little episode. But I'm like, how special is that? When I was having those types of moments in the psych ward, they will just run over, and if they need to calm you down, you're just injected with something. And
Right.
like, it's just like terrifying. And I just felt so safe and supported. And yeah, it was.
Yeah, zooming out real quick, because I remember bringing Sandy in and doing all the research and talking to Darren before and all the things, was like, okay, and if you listen to the first 3 episodes, you know, mental health behavioral institution is very institutionalized. It's very, you know, medical, and these people, I feel for them too, are dealing with really hard to deal with and handle people who are dealing with some really hard mental health issues.
Right.
And so it's kind of like worse. And not that it's inhumane, I don't want to say that, but like it's, Dr. Darren said, you know, you start to get treated like a person at the bridge. It's kind of like, you know, Sandy's experience in psych ward, like you don't really feel like a person, you're just you're in there and they're trying to sedate you a bit and stabilize, which like there's a time and a place for that. And then the bridge was this place, 21 days, a bridge to like the rest of your life. And you get there and it's in St. George. And if anyone's been to St. George, there's red rocks and there's this certain energy about it, and there's this calming peace about it. And I get to bring Sandy, which is always calming when you're with your partner, especially typically your husband maybe is the more grounding energy, or in our relationship, I'm the grounding energy and Sandy is the passionate energy. And we get there and it just felt right too. And it's also like, yeah, like Dr. Darren said, there's so much clinical guidance there and so many professionals, but there's also freedom, which is what humans need. Like you don't have someone checking on you every 5 minutes, like at
Oh, I
the
was so
institution.
conditioned from like the psych ward. Like I'd be like asking, I'm like, am I allowed to go get food?
Yeah.
And you guys were like, yeah, the fridge is yours. Like everything's prepped and ready. And I'm like, oh my God, because like they would restrict food from you at the psych ward.
Yeah,
And so I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, there's just so many things that like,
But we get there and it's these beautiful condos. You see the red rocks. It's on like a golf course. Very good energy. The opening night, welcome night, food, dinner was like so healthy and nourishing. You start to meet the
every meal
people.
was healthy.
You meet,
and
yeah,
amazing.
every meal. Yeah, that was a part I was asking Dr. Darren, what's the nutrition like? And I'm like, oh, I was so impressed by the nutrition. I was so impressed by not only, I think osteopathic medicine, right, is your
Yes.
specialty,
Correct.
which is like whole body and mind body. So there's the medicine side, there's the whole body approach, there's the energetic side, there's getting into your body with exercise. Every day they would go outside to hike and the red rocks and all these things. And so looking at this holistic approach to healing and human, not to mention there is talk therapy, there is psychiatry, there is
Of course. Sure.
there. It was like, whoa, this is this like all these healing modalities that like I had been researching, like, oh my gosh, this is all in one place, and it was founded by you, kind of from your own pain points and your own experience, and then your own professional work of like what can be a bridge, and it just felt so good to us. So I remember leaving San Diego. So good. Side note, I had my phone on volume loud, but when it goes on, I guess, sleep mode, it overrides it. But you can go to your contacts if you have an iPhone. Person contact where like no matter what, if they call or whatever, it rings through.
We learned that one the hard way.
Now, got that.
Thanks for Darren. So what I would actually love to do, I wanna share. If this is cool. I want to give people an idea of what a day is like at the bridge. I actually still have some of the schedules.
Yay!
I'm gonna cherish this forever. I just think, one day when my kids are old enough, I'm gonna tell them my whole story, and like this is a big part of it. And I want them to know, like, what mommy had to do to like fight to be here. And so I just kind of want to walk through this so people can get an idea of what it was like. So Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. So this has all the practitioners' names and then all the
That's probably
like,
you gotta look at your
no,
schedule.
I know all the patients' names, and then they just every day they give you your schedule and they highlight yours, right? So all the things that have Sandy are highlighted. So on this particular day, let's see, where did it start? Okay, so every morning at 7 a.m. we would go on a hike. So we'd meet in the main lobby kitchen of main condo. There's like a ton of condos. We meet at the main condo. We all, have breakfast, whatever, and then we go on a hike together. And I was finding it hard. Like I was not doing fitness, right? So there were some things that were challenging, and there was actually one thing I opted out of the day when they did like what was it, like the off the cliff bungee thing.
Yes.
I was like, I just got a C-section. I don't feel great about this. So I did opt out of that, even though we're really encouraged to do all the things. But I just listened to my body. But I did like all the hikes. We're like climbing over huge boulders and rocks and doing all the things. So we started every day with a hike, which I think being outside, fresh air, vitamin D, moving your body, amazing way to start the day. So we did that every day. And then we would come back and we would have lectures from different doctors, different practitioners. But on this particular day at 1 p.m., I was with Aaron I was with Monica. She's my personal trainer. So we did a workout together. And then at 1:30, I was with Angela and we did ART. ART has played a huge role in my healing. And if you don't know what ART is, it's like similar to EMDR, but I think better. It's way to like rapid process a extremely traumatic specific event. And you don't have to talk about it. They're doing a certain like eye movement thing that helps your brain in the right and left hemisphere kind of like almost relive but rewrite the ending of that story. I don't know if I explained that in a good way, but that's kind of what my experience was with it. So I did ART that day. Then I had then I met with you at 2:40. So we got to chat. We were probably starting to talk about maybe some of the med stuff, or I don't know. Yeah. And then later in the day, I saw Dr. Edwards. Love him. How do you say that word? Musculoskeletal manipulation.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so that's one day, but then I'll go through one more day. The next day, I did. Then Monica and I met in the pool because I started telling her I don't really like all these on land workouts. Like I'm still very freshly from this surgery. Like I feel like I want to be in water. And she's like, let's do all your workouts in the pool. So we started doing the pool. So we did the pool. Then I met with Grant, who was a talk therapist. Loved him. Then I got a massage. We got massages almost every day.
That's like, Sandy's love language.
Massages are my love language. Like that is something from my childhood. My mom was a massage therapist. So like literally growing up, she would massage me to fall asleep, massage me to wake up. And she's not here with us anymore. So it was like this weird spiritual, like I almost felt like connected to my mom. Like I was like, being touched, being loved, and not in like an aggressive way, like in a loving, healing way. Massages were absolutely incredible. And then I ended the day that day with Dr. Tyler, absolutely awesome. Incredible human being.
Nervous system regulation.
Love him.
I got to meet all these people too. I'm like, these people are awesome.
Guys, this is just
and so passionate. You could tell they loved working at and being a part of the bridge. And I actually have a question for you, Dr. Darren, just based on all that, like talking about Sandy's days, how did you assemble all of these healing modalities? Like, how did you figure out? Because you really realize, like, and some of it is common sense, like getting outside and going on a hike and touching land. If that could be a pill, like it would be so helpful. But anyway, how did you assemble all these healing modalities that really is like holistically what a human needs dealing with trauma or recovering or whatever it is. Like, how did it come about?
You know, I wish I could take more credit, but the idea, I mean, the early idea was there for sure, but I didn't really know, and I didn't know all of these people. The the spectacular thing about the bridge, and this is the gospel truth. I have hired one person off of like a job board in our history. Everybody else has come to the bridge asking, hearing about it and asking to work there. When we very first started, Dr. David Tate, clinical psychologist, big shot. I mean, big shot, right? Nobody's better than Dr. Tate.
He's like Mr. Rogers.
He is with two PhDs and 30 years experience, and I mean, so good at, and he just encompasses all sides. He's extremely good on the Eastern side, really good on the traditional side, very, very good clinically. And he said, I heard you're trying to help people that are chronic but not addicted. And I'm like, that's true. He goes, can I help? And I go, what do you mean? He said, well, I'd like to help start this. And I said, are you serious? Like, you're busy. You're booked out for like 8 months. He said, I know, but but he said, I feel like this is really important. And I said, Doc, I have no money. This is an idea. We're moving into somebody's house. This is, clear back in 1999. And we're just going to give it a ride. And he says, I know you are, but he said, I feel called to help. And I said, hey, if you feel that way, I would love to have you. So here he came. My partner, Dennis Gilbert, in the beginning, he was a physical therapist. Excellent, and dear friend. And then somebody else said, hey, I live out here in Rockville. I teach aerobics. Could I help? I'm like, yeah, actually you can. And then we had 2 massage therapists from one of the resorts in Zion hear about us and say, we need some extra work. And I'm like, yes, we do need massage therapists. But it's been that way from the beginning. And
Finally demonstrated.
it's absolutely. I just sit back, and there was an old commercial years ago from the Hair Club for Men, and the guy said, not only am I the founder, but I'm a satisfied client. And I feel exactly the same. I feel like, yeah, that idea and that drive and those 20-hour days for those years, yeah, that's real. But I'm telling you, like, there have been so many outside good forces to help the bridge along the way. And I've been a passenger on that train as much as anybody else. I mean, it's been a privilege to be a part of that. I mean, yes, I work hard, but everybody else does too. And now we've got this staff, like Tyler, for example. I mean, he called, 3 years ago and said, hey, I do neuroplastic and neuroplasticity training on people that are chronic. And, he says, I'm a little bit odd. I'm a physical therapist, but I'm a PhD. Like, I went further and I did these extra fellowships in neuroplasticity and trauma rescripting. Can I help? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. And he said, well, what's your interview process like? I'll give you my references. And I just felt that. I'm like, no, you're hired. He goes, are you serious? I said, can you start in 3 days? Because he goes, yes. So but so much of the bridge has been like that. Monica that you mentioned, I was working out in a local gym, and I watched her with this really heavy set man that was really struggling. And I watched her just love on him and encourage him and just smile him through that workout. And I couldn't take my eyes off of that situation. So I went over and I said, hey, Monica, I just see your name tag and I see you working with this gentleman. I said, that's amazing. I said, we've got this program that works with people that are chronic. And it's not a gym environment at all, and it's not recovery, rehab, alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever. It's just chronic. And your demeanor would be so good. And she said, I'm in. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, yeah, I'd love to. I'll take some time away. But to an employee, everybody, from like Dr. Edwards. I mean, Dr. Edwards he spent his entire post-medical school training in fascial restructuring. So he's an OMT specialist. That's rare. It's really, really rare. And he heard about it and said, hey, I'd like to donate some clinic time to you guys. I'm like, yes. So the bridge has gotten better and bigger, like over all of these years, and more professional as people have literally come to work there. And yeah, I wish I could thump my chest and say, well, actually, yes, I did this research and I hired like the best of the best. I swear I didn't. I do my little thing, and the right pieces have come together. I've never been around better people. I mean, this is the truth. Sandy, you can attest to this. There are no better massage therapists on earth than the ones we have at the Bridge, period. There's no better clinical psych. They don't exist. There's no better physical therapy. It anywhere, period. Like,
It's like the Avengers of total healing in the mind and body.
it's so special. And the fun thing too is these people get to have other lives, and they come to just donate their passion on the days that they're there. But they also have families and lives and practices, and they're very, very important in lots of places. But they give of their professionalism and their time to the Bridge, and it's this little family. I think now I should remember this. But I think we're between 29 and 30 people on payroll, and we take less than 20 guests. So we've got more providers on the payroll than we do guests. And Sandy, you read through that schedule. Depending on your day, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 providers every single day for 21 days. It's miraculous what happens when. It's kind of like you eat at a really wonderful buffet. At the end, you're like, gosh, I feel full. Well, what did it? Was it the cowboy corn salad, or was it the spectacular mahi mahi, or was it the dessert? He's like, well, yeah, but that's all mixed together. Now I just feel I'm satisfied, like I feel good. And I want to say too that we never know at the Bridge what it is. Like, it might be 5% physical for someone and 95% mental emotional. Somebody else might be 95% physical and 5% mental emotional. I never know that. But when you have that many good people in the same place on the schedule, and you get to take what you want from everybody, I don't know what it is particularly with every person, because everybody's so dang unique. But at the end of it, when someone says, I can't believe I'm pain-free, I can't believe I don't feel sadness, really. Like, I can't believe I slept without medicine last night. I don't know how that even is possible. I've been in this situation for 8 years or 12 years or whatever. I'm not flying home to my job. That's been toxic for me. I made some decisions here that are going to change my life. And like you, Sandy, you kind of follow and watch, and life just keeps getting better and better and better. But it's that it's that pivot. So I fly. I'm a nobody pilot, but I have my little private license, and I rent a plane once in a while, and I go fly around. But on my check ride, I was supposed to fly from St. George to the Grand Canyon to Bryce Canyon, and then back to a little fueling stop, and then back home. And my VOR, it was an old airplane, okay? Like, it's a 1963 Cessna 172. I mean, but I love this little airplane. I love it. I like old cars too, so maybe that's what my affinity. But I was off like 2 degrees when I took off. And by the time I got out to where I thought I was going to make my first fueling stop, I was like 70 miles away. And and I had to really backtrack and kind of get crazy on my way home. And the Bridge, I've thought about this so much over the years. It's the Bridge, you only have to really adjust that much during the program. Because the distance between a year headed this way and a year headed this way, at the end of that, it's so vastly different. So you don't have to do everything while you're there, but you do have to make an honest shift, right? And that's the job of the entire program. It's look, I know you're headed a certain place. I know you've been in trouble, and we don't have to do all the work here for the rest of your life, but we have to make an extremely sincere shift that far. We've got to do that. So now we can watch you. Now instead of getting to Albuquerque, right, in 800 miles, you're going to be in Denver. That's a big difference. And it's not that you had to go to Denver the first night, but man, you had to get off that exit and stop going down that road and down that mental and emotional and physical space. So the whole staff really knows that. They get that. And so the only thing really that we demand of guests, and Sandy, you can hopefully attest to that, you just have to mean it. You have to really mean it, that you don't want to do this or feel this way or be this way anymore. And if you mean it and we mean it, you can make that shift. But watching you move after and during, I mean, I think the ability to help people shift is spectacular. But boy, the cheerleading afterwards, I mean, the stories of the Bridge guests, what they do after on their own, in their own spaces, is just, it's just unbelievable. And again, that's their work too. So we're a bunch of imperfect people. We bust our butts. We have for a long, long time, and we all have our own issues. All of us do, right? I mean, any honest human will say, yeah, don't. I mean, I'll teach you the principle, but you've got to know too. Behind closed doors, I fight this too. I don't want to get out of bed every morning and exercise. I don't. But you're the founder. You started this. I'm like, maybe, yeah, that's true. But I'm telling you, like when my alarm goes off at 4:30, most of the time I go, oh my gosh, like I have to fight this again, or it's time to do a meditative work or some scripture study, and I'm like, I don't have time. I don't want to, but knowing that we're all kind of in this together as providers and guests, and this statement, because I want to hear from you guys. I've talked way too much, but one of the things I think is so important, and this is a true statement at the Bridge. The only difference between providers at the Bridge and guests is about 3 weeks, and then you can't really tell the difference. Then everybody kind of becomes, we kind of move into the same space. Sandy, you could work at the Bridge now. You could have probably worked there.
Local, I would gladly volunteer my time there.
I'm just saying, like, there's not this vast chasm between being really in trouble and being okay. It's actually quite small. You don't feel like it is. You feel like the chasm is massive. But once you recover, you're like, oh wow, I was closer than I thought. I was closer to being okay than I thought. And I think that's important for people in the dark too. When I was in my darkest of the dark, after my wife had left and I was on medicine and I was trying to get help for myself and I was in a lot of trouble, I remember some nights thinking, I don't think I'd take my life. I don't think I have that kind of courage, but I can see why people do. I'm finally in this place where I get it,
I relate to that so much because I never felt like suicidal myself, but I was like, and even in our marriage, I didn't want a divorce, but I was like, I've never in my life understood so much why people want a divorce. Because even though Wade was there for me, I still was like, you don't get it. I wanted more empathy, more compassion, and it was just causing, I feel like you really don't understand things till you go through it yourself in some way, shape, or form. And I just now have such a deeper level of understanding and compassion for people with whatever they're struggling with, because it's like, yeah, maybe I don't relate to that exact thing, but I have a story, right? Like we all do. So I love your share. It's
I
so
think
good.
Sandy, it would be good segue is talk about your kind of experience and journey and transformation at the Bridge. What'd you go in thinking, expecting, wanting? What did you experience? How'd you come out? What was that transformation like?
I willingly left my family and my newborn to go to the Bridge with the deep hope and desire and knowing, but not fully knowing, but I did feel like there was a deep knowing in there that it would help bring me out of this postpartum depression. And I was desperate. I had told him, I was like, I think I need to go to India to a retreat. He's like, we're not sending you to a foreign country. I'm like, we're not going to do that right now. And I'm glad we didn't do that. Not that there's anything wrong with India, but we can keep it here in the States. But yeah, that's kind of what my mindset was going in. And then throughout, I made incredible friendships. I still have a group text called the Bridge Baddies, and there's 6 of us girls in there, and we text, we get updates. And actually, one of them's coming to Colorado soon, and we're going to meet up. And
are you sending them your podcast series?
I need to. Yeah, but it's just, yeah, that's kind of what my mindset was going in. And even immediately coming out, I was like, I think it was good for me. It was almost like I needed weeks and months to fully download. I was
integrate.
When people would be like, what was your retreat like? I was like, I don't even know how to talk. It was good. I'll tell you later. I didn't even know how to say the words of what it was like, because it's so overwhelming in the most beautiful way. Just so many resources, so many things. The details, your staff, Donna, Brad, Corbin, they're all amazing. They picked us up from the airport. And every attention to detail, I felt so taken care of. It was just, the whole thing was just unbelievable. And the food, I have to highlight this because Wade and I, we are health coaches. We're big on health and nutrition. And there was 4 or 5 private chefs, and everything was gluten-free. I'm gluten-free. Everything was, it was mainly paleo or vegan. We would get meat, but everything was clean. It was exactly what a postpartum mom, what anyone needs, but especially my body recovering from massive surgery. going through everything, I needed nourishment, and that is exactly what I got. And yeah, I just felt so held, so safe, so loved. And I came out of it on the other side, like in a just gratitude is like the main word that comes to me. But I have a few things in my journal that I saw this morning, and this might kind of seem a little jumbled, but I kind of want to read some of these things of just like I don't even know why I wrote some of these things. It's just like what I wrote, but just these were some of my feelings, I think, while I was there, and I just think it's a beautiful thing to share. I wrote, as I reflect upon my relationship with myself, I feel grief and gratitude simultaneously. Oh, this makes me want to cry. And then this was an activity that Dr. Tate had us do. It was like a written meditation. So you had to write me and then my body, and you're going back and forth between you talking and your body. So me says, as I reflect upon my relationship with my body, I feel so much respect and honor for what she's done. My body, thank you for seeing me. I have been working hard to show you love and keep going amidst a storm. Me, I'm sorry I haven't given you more compassion and grace and been so critical of things. Body, you're doing your best with your human mind, but you've been so hard on me. Give me more grace, love, and understanding. You will, for lack of a better phrase, get your body back, but don't rush your healing. Sit in it, honor it, be with it. And then me, I just wrote her, period. Like, to me, this page, and then there was a part where it said, write down, he said, like, imagine one person you respect so much, you love them, like, da 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 da, and I wrote dad. And then it was, what would he say if he got to read this dialogue? And I wrote, Dad, I'm so proud of you, babe. And it's like, this is so healing to me. Like,
Yeah.
I cherish this time because it's like the girl holding the pen that wrote this was like suffering, you know? It's like, and I just wrote things like, I'm so proud of myself for being here. Um, uh, it's never too late to start over. Turn this shit into fertilizer.
Yeah, I love that.
Quote, and then like this conscious awareness activity. May I be happy. May I be easeful. May I feel safe. It was all about present moment awareness, and I don't know. There's so much beauty in these pages. It's honestly just it was so healing. And I remember one day they gave us all these beautiful printouts, and I actually should like frame these but this one, you're not healing to be able to handle trauma, pain, and anxiety. You're used to those. You're healing to be able to handle joy and learn to accept happiness back into your life. Like, I love these things. And this one, I love this. How do you say it? Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Like, I said that on repeat to myself, to my womb, to my husband, to my dad, to my son, I felt that so deeply, and that was like my mantra. And so I feel like there was so much, like, even though the bridge is not like a religious or there's no affiliation with religion,
Right.
I felt the presence of a deep spiritual, like, I don't know how to call it. It was like a Holy Spirit energy the whole time I was there. I
Yeah.
felt safe. I felt so loved. And some of the practices, the day with the horses was one of the most healing things for me. The time with, I'm forgetting the gentleman, the Indian,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Yeah.
I love Dustin. The morning we got to watch the sunrise, and he taught us the practices and like how to like, you know, I don't even remember if I'm saying this right, like speak to the wind or honor like the sunrise, and like
Yes. Yeah.
it was deeply spiritual. Like we got to see and be shown like their practice and how they honor Mother Nature. And I don't know, there's just so many beautiful pieces that came together and were a huge part of my healing, and I'm eternally grateful. And the whole reason I'm doing this podcast is like I know there's someone listening or someone that will be sent this podcast that is desperate and does not know where to go or what to do, has exhausted all things, feels hopeless, and is like, I would be better off not here anymore. And that is not true. Like, it might not feel accessible to people. Like, that is something I want to touch on, because one of the hesitations I had, like, we have insurance, but my insurance didn't cover this. And like, it is an investment. Like, your health is an investment. Like, it is. Like,
Your life.
your life.
Mental
And
health. Yeah.
so I just invite the person that might look at the sticker tag of this and be like, it's how much money? And be like, what is your life worth to you?
Yeah.
Like, this will save your life. This will change your life. And so, you know, I want to vulnerably share this part too. Like, when we learned about the bridge, we basically had like a 3-day turnaround to give you guys big chunk of money, and we did the down payment, and then we were like, okay, we can move some things around, or like we could like sell investments, or like, and we're like talking to my dad, and my dad's like, I love you, I got you. And my dad helped bridge that gap and just like stepped in, and like as a 35-year-old woman, like that felt super vulnerable. Like, wait, dad, like we're married, we make our own money, we're successful, like, but he was like, I love you, I got you. And like that made me feel so like held and supported.
Shout
and
out Jim.
seriously, my dad is a freaking saint, like
Yeah,
truly.
he is.
But like, there's just so many pieces of this. There were so many things that happened behind the scenes, stuff that some like people will never know or see. There were so many moving parts that made this possible for me to be there. But I'm so grateful, and like I would so recommend the bridge to anyone that is struggling or suffering. And you know, my group, you said like there's 28 staff and like 20
Yes.
patients. My group only had 12 patients, or should I call it patients, group members? I don't know. There's 12 of us, so it was like so intimate. Like I know these people and their stories, and we have each other to lean on. And I want to share one more thing before I turn it back is I love that it's not just you're done and then you go. Like you guys have aftercare. Like after I left, I still popped on weekly Zoom calls. I still had access to one-on-one. Like I still talk to, I'm completely blanking on the one therapist. Love that guy. He helped us a lot with the masculine and feminine polarity.
Dr. Dave.
Dave. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like we had like 3 or 4 sessions with him after the fact. And like Lori, the breathwork girl,
Yes.
the closest to God, the closest to source, the closest to creator I've ever felt in my life is in her breathwork section. Like truly, that was a magical experience for me. And yeah, it's just, I love that it's not just you're done, we got our money, bye. Like you guys
Right.
care. I still have access to you. Like it's just this beautiful relationship. And yeah, I don't even have full words to embody like the gratitude, but it's there.
Well, you're welcome. And also, like we learn from you guys a lot. We debrief after every session, and every session we're like, all right, what did we learn? It's like, man, Sandy taught us this, and we learned this. And so as a staff, I mean, humans, if you're really involved in your life, you're in a state of constant development. There's no summit where you just get to lay down for 30 years and go, oh, I made it. But there's this constant development. So providers, guests, staff, whatever, we know that too, because we know too that the next session, and I believe it's divine providence. I do. I believe that the right people come at the right time. I think for your session, Sandy, those 12 little souls, like they were supposed to be there all together at that time. Yep. And then we as a staff, it's shocking between sessions. Like Rhea will call and say, for this next session, I'm really thinking I think I'm gonna do this, for opening instead of what I normally do. I'm like, then follow that, like trust yourself. So every session's so unique, and it's so special for us too, because we're not making tennis balls. We go walk in every session as a staff and providers too. We walk in with big eyes and big ears going, oh man, what are we in for? Like, what are people coming for? Where are our deficiencies? Like, what do we need to study? What do we need to read to make sure that we don't miss some of these folks? And it's really wonderful to have everybody in the same place wanting the same thing. I mean, yeah, you might not be you might be a different religion than I am, and most of the staff are, but the intent is identical, right? It's like, let's help these people heal. And then when you heal, now, Sandy, you're out going, well, now how can I help? Right? Like that transition between patient and staff is awfully quick. And I remember going from being in a lot of trouble psychologically and physically, into running my first marathon. That didn't take that long, because humans, you're not designed to stay very long in that space. You're in it, it's not fun, it's dark, but you learn, and then you move in a hurry. There's not time. We don't get to live for 500 years, right? Like life is pretty darn short. So while you're in that student section and you're learning and you've got those lessons to put down, take your time, be a good patient, be a good student. But I'm telling you, and Sandy, you're finding this, but when you're out of that, your calling now you've got to spread this light. You got to go. There's no time. We can't mess with this anymore. We
It would
learn.
be selfish of me to keep this to myself. Like I have to share this with the world. People need to know.
Yeah, you got to. Oh, go ahead, Wade.
To put like a beautiful bow on it, like, because the bridge isn't a business, it's a mission, kind of what you're talking about saying, and the ripple effect, like now Sandy sharing and like who this episode could reach or touch and who could be at the bridge, and then the ripple they can make in the world being, feeling more healed and different stuff. But I want to ask, like, almost to wrap, because I know we're running out on time here, is like, what was the original mission? What's the mission of the bridge? Has it evolved at all? And then, like, who is the bridge for?
Yeah, I've never shared this publicly, but I'm going to share this. So just as I was coming out of the dark, I was just barely coming out of the dark. I was selling light bulbs and first aid kits door to door in my late 20s. I had nowhere to go. I was waiting tables a couple nights a week. I was living on a bunk bed in college housing and on a bike. But I was feeling better. Like I could tell that I was moving. And I went up on top of this mountain close to where I lived. And it was started to rain. And I closed my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, I saw these like lasers of light coming up out of the city. And thousands of them. And I remember asking myself this question, what's that, And what is that? And the thought came just clear as day. It said, those are people praying for the place that you're supposed to build.
Chills.
Whoa, chills. That was
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm waiting tables. I don't build anything. Like I'm selling light bulbs out of a backpack. But I could tell I was moving though. I could feel it. Like I could tell. And that night I woke up in the middle of the night and I wrote the bridge on top of this legal pad. And under it I wrote, restoring life to living. And that's the same. Like that's never deviated. Now the design of the bridge has had to adjust, right? I knew where I was. I didn't want to be, but I could see the abyss in front of me. I didn't know how to get to the other side. I didn't know. I needed like some kind of a bridge. I didn't want psych forever. I didn't want to sleep on a magnetic bed or wait for Jupiter to be in retrograde or take too many pills, like I didn't, I talked to so many people and everybody had an idea. Oh, your grandmother, it was the harsh toilet training at the ranch. I'm like, was it? Well, okay, you need to forgive your grandma. I'm like, she's gone now. Well, you can forgive her through, I'm like, okay. And somebody else is like, oh, it's purely serotonin, take a pill. Somebody else is like, oh, this is pure trauma work. What we need to do is, release this. And, oh, you've got a parasite. Let's do a cleanse. I did it all because I didn't know. I had my magnetic bracelet on and repeating mantras and going to church. But that mission of, look, let's figure out a way with good people to build a bridge from these dark places over this chasm and then let people run, let them go. But it's that initial bridge of I don't like where I am, I'm scared to death, I can't figure this out, and I don't know what to do. We can build that together, and then after that, you just watch everybody scatter into the future, and it's just spectacular. So sorry about that. I don't know, but anyway. But
I love the whole share. It's so beautiful, and it's like when you get those downloads of like, wow, this doesn't make sense, but I guess this is like
I know, right?
supposed to do, like,
So for us, for the guests, for the providers, to me it just felt like me having that experience of darkness was very, very important. That was tuition on what I needed to do. Sandy, you'll look back at this and you'll think I could never have helped this many people without having that dark experience, even though I would have given anything to get rid of it at the time. And I tried everything. I tried pills, I tried counsel, I tried everything just to make it go away. Yep. But in the end, it was this great teacher. It was this really important piece. It was this puzzle piece on my foundation that I couldn't build on otherwise. And so as humans learn that really when they're in the dark and when it's difficult and when they're in trouble, that really those are foundational pieces that just need the right context. They just need the right massaging. They need the right techniques and therapy to put them in their right place, and then you can stand on them. And they become foundational. They become really important. Rather than hating depression or hating pain or hating anxiety or hating insomnia or hating all of that stuff, the bridge teaches you've got to listen. You've got to listen. Like there are messages there. There are lessons there. There's teaching there. And the things I hated the most and would have done anything to kill. Give me surgery, give me a pill, cut my leg off. I don't care. Get this away from me. Ended up being some of my most valuable teachers. So that's a long answer, but yeah, in the beginning, it's like, look, help. And then I'm like, wait, I need help. What do you mean help? Like, I'm the one that's been in trouble. What am I supposed, And now to watch these families and these individuals just go out into the world and just keep making changes and changes and changes. I think it still is restoring life to living. I think still it's building that bridge. And I'm honored to be part of that family with you, Sandy. And I am.
Thank
you
for
so
sharing.
much.
Yeah, thanks.
So grateful. I know this is going to help a lot of people too. And,
Yeah.
And I want to share too to people that might listen and think like, oh, because Wade and I do a lot of like brand partnerships, and we, Wade's especially is very influential on social media, and we have big followings. Like people might listen to this and be like, oh, they're getting a kickback and blah blah blah. No,
Yeah.
we are fully sharing this like from our hearts. Like there is no partnership here. There is no, other than just our friendship and just the gratitude. Like next time we're in St. George, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I would love it.
Yeah, but I just want people to know the genuineness of that. Like this is purely from our hearts, and I thought,
I'm even like, we could do a family trip out, and you could do a 1 day pop into a bridge setting, and someone could share who's been there, done that, been in their shoes,
yeah, we'll
whatever.
have to look, because do you guys still do like 2 a month, right? 2 sessions, or what is it? 1 a month?
1 a month. One session a month. Then we take a little break. But yeah, and this goes for everybody. During this last session, we had 4 different bridge guests come in and out during the session just to hang out at lecture, have dinner, or go on a hike or whatever. So if you're in town, call ahead and find out when things are. And Sandy, I would love to have you. And Wade, just bring everybody. That would be so fun.
I would love that. There's one more thing I feel like I need to share. And if you guys listened to the last episode, you know that I, after my first repressed memory came out, and a lot of it had to do with like sexual abuse in my childhood, and there was this particular person in my family, I won't reveal who, but it was like a male person that there was sexual abuse that was, lineagely kind of happening. And I know that part of why I'm going through all this is I'm meant to break generational trauma. I'm meant to break the cycle of abuse, of alcoholism, of like all the different things that I like watched my mom struggle with. And during one of the massages that I had, I forget the gal's name. She was phenomenal. She like energy work massage.
Joelle, maybe?
Joelle.
Yes.
She's massaging my left foot, which I guess your left is like your feminine side and your right is like your masculine. She's doing my foot and my ankle, and she was like, she said something about my grandfather and like this male energy and how it's blocking the feminine lineage and blah blah blah. And I was like, I had chills all over my body because 2 weeks before, me and him were rebuking and doing all this stuff of this like negative energy that like had so much toxicity and hurt in my family lineage. And the fact that she picked up on that, I didn't tell her that. I was like, this place is magical. Like, I don't know. So anyway, it was so healing on every level: spiritual, mental, emotional, just physical, everything. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy we're here. And
I'm going to keep you on track to get to your neuroplasticity brain code appointment. Dr. Brooks, where is someone listening to this episode, they're like, how do I get connected? How do I look up the bridge? How do I get more information? Like, where's the best place for them to go? We'll drop it in the show notes.
Yeah, so www.thebridgerecoverycenter.com. We have our nurse. I'll give you just a couple of direct phone numbers. My nurse, Christine Romero, 435-862-8037. You can talk to her. My personal cell, I know that might sound dangerous, but text me, okay? 435-313-1554. That gets straight to me. And then if we have a 501c3 arm, a charitable arm, so if you want to donate or contribute to the project or contribute to the mission, all of that money, we're the only 501c3 in the world where 100% of your donation goes to patient care. There's no admin at all. If you donate $10,000 or $1 million, it goes to pure patient care. So all of that, and we're just barely, like Sandy, this is you don't know this, but we are looking at a brand new facility on 50 acres, and
Whoa.
Need all the help we can get. So anybody out there that wants to really jump in and be part of this legacy, you can that way too. But Sandy, thanks so much. Love you. And
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for you. We love you, and we will stay in touch.
And I will say to end it, anyone, if you listen to this episode, like just, and you think about someone who needs to hear it, like please send it to them to get just this message, this information, and this resource to them, because it has been life-changing in our lives and in so many. So thank you, Dr. Brooks. We look forward to staying in touch. I'll drop all those resources in the show notes, and have a great rest
Hope
of
you
your
have a
day.
great day.
thanks, you guys. Love you.
Bye.